What's up, guys? This is Lego My Django here. I'm here with,
LewisFilms, yo, what's up, guys?
and since the release of the trailer for Clone Wars rebooting, or at least the 7th season, we're going to be doing a review of the arcs of episodes, or, well, just frankly, all the episodes of Star Wars The Clone Wars, the old one from 2008, even the movie.
Yep, even that movie. Oh, boy.
Yeah, so as far as the canon goes, or the timeline goes, that's been created online, we're going first with Season 2, Episode 16, Cat and Mouse.
Yep, so that is the first episode, and, weirdly, it's Season 2, Episode 16. I could tell that Dave Filoni was like, right, we've got one spare episode in this season. Let's do a little bit more backstory to the Kostofsis battle that we had in the movie.
Yeah.
That was probably what he thought. And I can't blame him, honestly.
Yeah, because, even with the movie, it's probably like, oh, we gotta do a bunch of stuff with Ahsoka now. It's like,
Yeah.
if they're gonna throw something in without Ahsoka, they probably would be later on. But
what did you think of the episode, honestly?
I feel like it's a pretty interesting episode. It does show a lot of, because in general, we don't see a lot based on what Obi-Wan and Anakin do with each other in terms of, character-wise, because Ahsoka's around. But, in general, just with that episode, it seemed very interesting. I really liked the villain, to be honest. I just thought he was very unique.
Captain...
It's Admiral Trench.
Admiral Trench, yeah, that's him. Yeah.
It was kind of funny, because, when I was a kid, I first saw him, I just was amazed on how he looked, because... It's we've never seen a spider-like creature in Star Wars, as far as I know. But
yeah, I have to say the Clone Wars, it brought a lot to the table, and the characters, the designs for most of the characters, especially the aliens, were really creative.
Yeah, exactly.
So something that I picked up on the episode is I liked how they give a bit more depth and they kind of humanized the Admiral.
Yeah.
In the episode, because they give him a connection to Trench, which I liked. It was a cool little nitpick that I picked up on. I thought it was cool that the Admiral had reason to fight, and it was kind of this is his motivation.
Yeah.
That I liked. Anakin and Obi-Wan's relationship before Ahsoka, pre-Ahsoka, was somewhat nice to see, I guess. But overall, in my opinion, it isn't the most exciting episode because I feel like it's more a tactical episode, less, it isn't as action-packed. I'd give it a 6 out of 10 overall.
Yeah, for me, my opinions on that was just I thought that with the connection between Admiral Trench and Admiral Yularen, I thought it was kind of interesting because we don't really get a lot of that in the Clone Wars, or, we don't know, in terms of just, in terms of express storylines, but it's just kind of funny to see Admiral Trench kind of in action in that sense. You don't really see a lot of him before Episode 4, because he was in Episode 4 at one point. But I think he died, though, I believe, in Episode 4.
Wait, he died?
Don't you remember him in Episode 4?
No.
You don't remember? He was the one with the white hair, white mustache, white outfit.
Oh, wait, that's the Admiral.
Yeah, that's Admiral Yularen. That's been proven.
So he died with Tarkin.
Yeah, he died with Tarkin.
Oh, no. That's cool. Oh, yeah. I like that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's because I remember him from there. Even when I was a kid, and I researched about him, it said Admiral Yularen, and I saw the TV show Clone Wars. I was like, oh, isn't that the guy from Episode 4?
Oh, that's kind of sad. I kind of like him.
Yeah, it was kind of funny just seeing him there, but at least in Clone Wars we got to see more of him.
Yeah.
That's probably why they put him in there.
So the next episode, are we done talking about
first one,
episode 16, season 2? I mean, there isn't really much to add. It's a good episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was trying to think of a rating. For me, I'd probably say that episode compared to the others that we're gonna review, I'd probably say probably a 5 out of 10. It's just
Yeah, yeah.
Like the
I try to keep mine pretty low because I know there are some great episodes, and trust me, every episode of the Clone Wars is brilliant.
Mhm.
Right? Every single episode. I can't think of one that is boring to
Jar Jar
watch.
episodes.
But okay, yeah, fair enough. Apart from the Jar Jar episodes, but you know, like you can't just give every episode like an 8 or a 9. So you have to give some low ones.
Yeah, in general. All right. So season 1, episode 16, the hidden enemy.
Yeah, that's. I think it's a little bit of a. I actually, to be fair, I love this episode. Actually, to be quite fair, I think this is a great episode.
Yeah, in general, it's like I thought it was pretty interesting how they came up with the concept, but literally, I'm just drawing a blank. It's like I had to binge the episodes a while ago, but like I can't really remember a lot. I can remember a lot of like the clone episodes, but I can't remember like.
Well, in this episode, Rex and Cody have to try and find the spy.
Oh, that one, yeah.
The clone spy. I thought it was really interesting because, first of all, it's like continuity-wise, it's like the first time we get to see Rex and Cody, like, and their dynamic that they have. Like, they are like pretty tight from what it seems. They understand each other, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and I gotta say, like, sorry, one thing I thought was pretty interesting is just the concept of a traitor clone. That's just it's pretty amazing.
Yeah. I mean, it also does get a bit more. It gives a bit more depth to the clones because the thing I didn't like about episode 2 and 3 was the clones were practically just battle droids.
Yeah, they had nothing.
And then in the Clone Wars, it's like they're regular people who have their own thoughts, which is cool.
It's like Dave Filoni just thought, I was like, you know what? They need personality.
George Lucas, you idiot. We'll eventually get to roasting George and many other people that are involved with Star Wars with something that's going to be coming.
We don't want to give anything too much away, but let's just say it's
too much away.
Let's just say it's like an Adult Swim sort of show.
Yeah. So yeah, also continuity-wise, once again, I feel like I'm going to be saying that a lot.
Yeah.
It's the first time we get to see Ventress. And Obi-Wan and Anakin fight her, which I thought was a cool fight scene. Certainly very interesting. Once again, I overall I like the idea of a rogue clone, and I thought it added a sense of mystery and the fact that they had to find him throughout, like, because everyone has the same face, you know, so it made it interesting.
Yeah.
Overall, I give it a 7 out of 10. Honestly, I think that's a pretty good episode. Solid, very solid.
For me, it's like I really like the part with Slick and Cody and Rex fighting. That was very action packed. I just really liked it. Even with like, I believe Rex, like, I forgot if that was a leg break or if that was just like a sprain or something, because he's fine after that. But like,
I was wondering that.
Yeah, because he's like, I was like, okay, I guess clones have like better strength than humans, so they can recover from anything.
Yeah, well, they are genetically engineered, so I guess maybe, I don't know.
Because that seemed like, because you can hear a noise, because I was like, did he like break his leg? It's like, like twisted his leg or something, just like. But
okay.
Yeah, I'll give this episode though. I'll probably give it like, I'm being a little bit generous, but an 8 out of 10. It's kind of.
Ooh, okay.
It's kind of like that clones scene kind of made it for me. It's just.
Yeah.
Like looking back at it now, like as a teenager, I'm all like, that was just a really cool scene. But as a kid, I'm all like, yay, clones fight.
The nostalgia was kicking in though.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm telling you. Okay, so talking of nostalgia, the 2008 Clone Wars movie.
Yep.
Honestly, I was mouthing all the lines throughout this whole thing when I was watching it just recently to review this movie.
Yeah.
I was mouthing all of it, but once again, I loved it as a kid, but it's the weakest thing of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. It just is.
Yeah, I kind of felt like some of the plot was kind of boring, but. And I kind of thought that was kind of interesting where, like, they took the plot where it was like oh, Jabba has a kid. It's just like, and I was even wondering, how does he even have a kid? I mean, there is female Hutts, but it's like, how?
not getting too scientific, but how do Hutts reproduce?
I believe it's probably like...
They're slugs.
Yeah, they are slugs, so like, how are slugs do it?
You know, that's not a question I think I want answers on.
This is Star Wars, is not...
Yeah, if anyone knows, comment down below.
It's restricted.
I got instantly demonetized just then. Okay, so, yeah, one thing I want to say about the movie is Dooku's ridiculous plan to get the Hutts to hate the Jedi. Now, honestly, I was watching this, I was like, huh? What? So basically, Count Dooku's trying to get the Hutts to hate the Jedi, right? And the only way he did that was through chance, right? Because Jabba asked for proof that the Jedi were mistreating his son, right? So Dooku had no idea where the Jedi were going to be and at what time. And coincidentally, they happened to be right in front of Ventress at that exact point. Dooku's like, right, whip out your phone and just record them, right? So send him a video message, whatever.
Especially because they have the protocol droid there. It's like, how did they even do that?
It's like, how would you have all the right stuff at the right time when you didn't even know where they were going to be? Dooku whips it out and was like, oh, Jabba, look, here's the Jedi abusing your son. It's just his son, like, screaming or something.
Especially like, Anakin saying, I hate Hutts.
I know, exactly. And then, and frickin' Rex had to say, I hate Hutts, I'm done.
Wait, so, Rex said that? I didn't remember that.
I don't know, it was a clone voice, it could have been anyone.
I thought it was Anakin, but like, I thought it was just Anakin, but I didn't think that he said, any of the clones said that.
Oh, right, I can't remember then.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dooku had a ridiculous plan, and somehow it worked.
Because plot points.
Yeah, because the plot had to move forward, god damn it.
We're getting now a real story.
Dave Filoni got stuck and was like, right, how would Ryan Johnson deal with this situation? Ryan Johnson just like...
Fanfic. Yes. Yeah.
Ahsoka is slightly annoying, gonna be honest.
I thought it was kind of funny, the dynamic in the first movie, like in the movie. Yeah. I thought it was kind of funny. It was like the dynamic between Anakin and Ahsoka. As the series kind of went on, it was kind of like, But in the first movie, I thought it was kind of interesting, just like because they kind of handled each other kind of like brother and sister, more or less.
Yeah. I mean, I think if it wasn't for, I thought Ahsoka was like really annoying, but like that gives a good like development into the future, because in like the future seasons I'm like, yeah, Ahsoka's a badass, like I love her.
Yeah.
And I think what's her name, the actress who plays Ahsoka, what's her name?
I can't remember.
Ashley or something, I don't know.
I knew like
in San Diego Comic-Con this year, she did say that a lot of fans said that she was annoying, and that she said that it gave her like room to grow, and that was a good thing. And I think if it wasn't for Ahsoka having the development that she had, I reckon it would have made her departure from the Jedi Order a lot less impactful.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad that she had that like dynamic.
She had that
like
arc,
said,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the thing was with the movie, I felt like it was just I thought it was kind of interesting to have Count Dooku have more of a backstory in that sense, where like it's like we actually see him in action now, like throughout the Clone Wars series, instead of like oh, he's just Christopher Lee as a Sith and blah blah blah. No, he's his own character. It's like
yeah, like you can really see like it dives more into Count Dooku and and Sidious and stuff, and I like that kind of thing. I also like how he has an apprentice as well with Ventress. It kind of adds like Dooku like a new dynamic for him, as well, which I liked. Which is also what they did to Anakin, surprisingly.
Yeah,
which is good.
It was like the one thing that I thought was kind of strange about it was like Count Dooku was still kind of an apprentice to the Emperor, but he has an apprentice. I just didn't get that. But then I saw like Obi-Wan, still has Anakin as an apprentice, and then Anakin has an apprentice of his own. So I was like, how's that kind of how's that connect?
The thing that confused me was I thought Ventress was like a Sith, and I was like, wait, because when I was a kid, I was still a massive Star Wars fan, and I did know about the rule of two. Because
Yeah,
I did a lot of Legends research and whatever.
exactly.
And I was like, okay, if the rule of two is a thing, then why has Dooku got an apprentice? And I realized that she's only an assassin, which they don't really make, evident. It's kind of just like, oh, Dooku's got an apprentice, here you go. They never really address that she's not a Sith.
Yeah, until like later in the series where it's like she's a night sister.
Where the Emperor tells us like, F off, like. Dooku's my boy.
It's also kind of a funny thing I just didn't pick on here is like the series in general give us more Hutts that I thought was kind of interesting, but in the movie, first one was Zero, and he was just a crack up.
Zero was funny.
Yeah, the funnier part is I know a relative that just sounds kind of like him.
So, that must be the best thing every time you see them.
No, cause like it's my grandpa's sister that sounds like him, but it's like, even with just in general, it's like when she normally talks, it just sounds like Zero.
Yeah. So characters, Rex is good, Anakin is good, everyone's good, Ventress is good, Dooku is stupid, but whatever. The clones are awesome. Rex especially. I like
the
Rex.
droids are stupid as usual.
The droids, yeah, it works though. The structure is all over the place, but if you've watched the movie, you'll know what we mean when we say it's. You just know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably because it was 4 episodes mashed into one. Because an episode has its own structure.
And they probably worked on this like for many years before like they thought putting it into production, but.
Yeah. And then like when they put it into one, it's just like, well, it slows and it goes fast and it slows down again at the end and it goes fast again and it's like just pick the place you want to go. Like it's 4 episodes mashed into one. The animation is a bit choppy, but that's fine because we're not nitpicking. It's just it is bad compared to the recent Clone Wars episodes. But it was the first one they did, so.
Yeah, it's just in general, it's like that's the thing you kind of have to think about. It's like they haven't done anything Star Wars related or anything really Star Wars animated since like I believe 2003. So, and that was like with the guy that did Samurai Jack.
Yeah.
So what would you rate the film?
What by what?
I said, what would you rate the film? Oh, I didn't know that you had any more to say. I was.
Well, I do have one last thing to say. I think the only thing that I really, really fully enjoyed about this movie was the opening battle sequence on Christophsis.
Yeah.
That was my favourite part.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, 5 out of 10, probably.
Yeah, like, I would probably give it a 4 just because, like, nothing was really that good. Like, the only saving grace, I feel like, of the film is Zero and the clones. Really, it just...
Yeah.
I
could agree with that.
With the side story with Padme, I was like, that could have been its own episode. It's like...
Oh, I know. Just if it was, one of the supporting characters would have probably been Jar Jar, so...
Oh, God. The good thing it wasn't an episode. Alright, so next one is Season 3, Episode 1, one of the many clone-related episodes. Clone Cadets.
I love this episode.
Yes.
So
Domino Squad.
This was one of the best episodes in the entire Clone Wars series. I'm so glad we get to review this in this episode. Oh my god.
Come to find out, you only have like a few words to say.
Yeah, like there's literally nothing else to say about it. It's pure awesome. I'm just gonna start out by saying it shows how special the clones are. Once again, something the saga episodes didn't do. It shows how special they are and how individual they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I also like the inclusion of one of the famous, memorable veterans of the series, Clone Trooper 99.
Oh, 99, yo.
He's just... he's like the father of the clones, pretty much, in a sense. It's just...
He is.
Besides Kelsey Rada, but he doesn't count. He doesn't count in this series.
But yeah, no, I think this... I mean, Shark T, we get to see her in this episode, and it's like... I feel like what the Clone Wars does especially well is it brings in Jedis that we don't normally get to see that often, and kind of gives them like something to do, which is I thought was pretty awesome.
Yeah, especially Kit Fisto at one point. I remember it was.
Oh yeah.
He had a whole arc around him, but another thing that was kind of funny is like having a bounty hunter as an instructor for the clones.
Yeah. You would have thought it would have been like a clone commander or something.
Yeah, like the ARC troopers, It's like.
Yeah. But I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Republic's low on budget. Get a bounty hunter. Screw all the ARC troopers. We don't need them. They're on the battlefield. Oh wait, they're in the episode.
Oh god. Yeah. Honestly, rating on this episode, I'd give 8 out of 10. I mean, is there anything else you want to add?
Well, it's like I can't remember the other bounty hunter's name, but then like that one green bounty hunter, that character was kind of interesting to a point where he actually felt for the clones and like wanted them to succeed, and the other one just despised them.
Oh yeah, that purple one.
Purple?
The one that kind of looks like Thanos with a frickin'
purple
afro. Looks like Thanos with an afro.
The other guy that I was talking about was tan.
Wait, who were we talking about?
Wait.
I was talking about the purple guy.
Who was the purple guy? I didn't know it was the purple guy.
The purple guy was the guy who started beating up Cut Up.
That was the tan guy. Like I thought he was tan.
I thought he was purple. Wait, the green one and the purple one.
Let me search him up real quick.
Pretty sure he's purple. I'm telling you, this mofo's looking like Thanos with an apple.
I don't think that it. I don't think he was. I was just that I don't know what happened.
I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna just go. He's not purple.
No, it's like I remembered him as tan, but I could be. This is gonna be a whole thing. This will affect our runtime really quick.
It really will. I mean, when I'm editing this, I'm gonna have a picture of him on the screen, like throughout this whole time. So,
I'm only looking through. I just clicked on the episode because I thought it'd be the simplest way to like look through and see where he is. I was like, I'm pretty sure he's tan, but he could be he could be a purple, I think. But I guess
Bounty Hunter has left the server. I can't find him anywhere.
Literally, like I'm just trying to look through the episode, but my phone won't load.
Well, anyway,
yeah.
Let's just say he is a bounty hunter who was mean to the clones.
Yeah, if I find it, I'll tell you whenever we're reviewing. But like, as far as like what I would probably rate it, I'd probably rate it like a 9.5 to be honest. Like I'm kind of being a little bit generous, but this is a really impacting episode. 99 just made it.
Yeah, 99 was one of the best things because he's like everyone like picks on him, like everyone like thinks he's not as like even the Domino Squad, who was arguably the worst squad.
Even the bounty hunter, like he picked on him.
Yeah.
Like he didn't say anything that bad. He's like, you guys are worse than 99 or something. I was like, well.
Even this Bachelor 99 has more sense than you guys do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like, it's mean, bro. Like, why are you picking on him? Yeah, anyway, so that is a very good episode. Very, very good episode.
I can see how, I just looked down on him. I can kind of see how you thought it was purple. I think it's a mesh of purple and tan, to be honest, because, like, it's a lighter skin tone, but, like...
I don't know, it just... Yeah.
Once you see him, you'll kind of get what I mean.
Yeah, well.
But, like, what he kind of reminded me of, Bib Fortuna and, Prune Face. You know who Prune Face is?
I don't, but it sounds quite fun.
Oh, it's a Robot Chicken Star Wars thing.
I'm gonna rewatch Robot Chicken. Like, bro, that...
Literally, they did this whole segment on Prune Face. Just thinking he's like the badass bounty hunter. But anyway, let's just go on to the next episode.
What's the next episode then?
I just got into the listing. Season 3, episode 3, Supply Lines.
Oh, I'm gonna be honest. It was a good episode, but it wasn't
It was decent.
decent. I'm gonna tell you why I like it, and you'll notice a trend here.
Yeah.
Why I don't like episodes. I thought it was a good episode. The fight till the very end with the clone commander and the Jedi, whatever his name was, I think it's like Die or something. I don't know.
Oh, I'm
I
a
forget what his
Gundy.
name is. Yeah, that dude.
Yeah.
Why do I call him Die?
It's kind of funny how his name is represented and how he dies.
Yeah.
I'm a Gundy, and he got shot down by droids.
Yeah, it was cool how they fought to the very end, and then obviously the supplies came over for Ryloth and the people on Ryloth, and I was like, oh, they really cared. Bail Organa was good. I like to see him.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see more of him.
Yeah. Considering he practically is Leia's father, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, in general, it's like I think you're probably getting into the Jar Jar after Organa, I believe, but
yes, I am.
Go on.
So, why I don't like this episode is because one, it was mostly politics, like, and politics are cool in Star Wars, right? Because it shows that the Senate, you got the Separatists, you got the CIS, Republic, whatever. It's cool, and it's cool to see how it progresses the war. But like in Clone Wars, I think this TV show, it's something you don't want to have in it as much, because I think this TV show needs to focus on more of the war aspect, because it's Clone Wars, and it needs to develop Anakin and Obi-Wan's character, especially because of what happens in Episode 3. But yeah, no, it was mostly politics. That's what I didn't really like about it. And Jar Jar was pointless. Like, okay, if he's got a reason to be there, fine, whatever. I'll put up with him. But he had no reason to be there.
They could have literally put Padme. They literally just written her out.
Oh my god, yeah, that's a great... You could literally just have Padme.
Yeah. The one time we want Natalie Portman.
Yeah.
Even though it's not Natalie Portman, but it sounds so much like Natalie Portman.
So true. But yeah, I'd give it a 6 out of 10, honestly.
Yeah, this episode was kind of bland, but I gotta say it was kind of interesting to see Bail Organa in this episode, because like we don't really see a lot of like what he does in the series. So it's kind of interesting to see like our perspective on like who he is as a character or whatnot. But yeah, I'd probably give it like 4.5. To be honest.
Ooh, that's damn.
I mean, like...
I would have given it about 4. But the clone and the Jedi kind of bumped it up for me a little bit.
Yeah, like, in general, it's like, I thought Captain Keeley was interesting, but it's like, let's just face it, he died like a bitch.
He got like... Didn't he get like blown up, and then he got up and was like, I'm not done yet, and then goes straight away.
Shot by 3 droids, and that's it.
So, well, that lasted.
It's like, well, you can do this, General. So we'll fight to the end, and then you just get shot.
Oh, Jesus.
But I'm a Gundy was kind of like, it seemed like he was a weak Jedi, though, to be honest.
Yeah. But coming up next, though, is also one of my favorite episodes.
Ambush.
Series. Coincidentally, it's the first episode of the entire series. Is in fact one of my favorite.
That's Ambush.
There's one word. Yoda. Yoda.
Yoda the badass.
Oh my god, he was so cool.
Yeah.
And so what are your thoughts on this episode? Like,
I thought it was a very like touching and moving episode, because Yoda is able to because Yoda with the clones, like in general, like when we see Jedi with clones, it's like, okay, it's just general and then clone. But with Yoda, it's more like he develops with the clones, and really gets down deep about like emotions and just in general, even though he's not supposed to have feelings towards anything. But I just like how Yoda kind of developed, more or less, because we barely see him in prequels. We barely saw him in the old trilogy, but in general, like seeing him like develop with the clones was kind of interesting. I wouldn't have thought they would have done something like this.
Yeah, and like I said, we didn't really see him much in the prequels. I'm just kind of glad we got a Yoda story.
So that wasn't voiced by Frank Oz.
Yeah.
I remember you were so shocked. I think it was like that wasn't. I think it wasn't voiced by Frank Oz, but I think it was Tom Kane because you were so shocked at one point when we were talking a long time ago. You were all like, "How was Tom Kane? I thought it was Frank Oz."
Yeah, well, I mean, surprises, but I gotta say, Tom Kane does a brilliant job.
Yeah, he voices so many characters in the series.
The Admiral, the narrator, he's Yoda.
Yeah.
That's the only ones I can really remember. But yeah, like I said, it gives the clones more in depth once again, which I really do like. The fact that they're giving the clones, meaning, and Yoda really, he has a big part to play in that, and I really do like that.
In general, it's like seeing Ventress at like the standing line of all this. It's kind of funny to see her as like the main person there, as well.
Yeah.
It's like when the battle droids notice Yoda is like they're just talking on the communicator. He's like, shoot him now. He's just sitting there. He's just. The battle droids don't know anything. They're just like, it's like, oh, you just sitting here in front of our tanks.
I like how like the clones just question everything Yoda does, but then they're just like, well, he's
a Jedi.
He's a Jedi. Nothing else to say here.
We're not supposed to question it.
I just love how he just sits there. And he's just sat, and everyone, and the droid's like, what? Like, even
so what are we
the
supposed to do here?
Wondering what's going on.
Exactly. Just like he's just sitting there, they're just like, what are we supposed to do here? None of our protocols are supposed to handle with this.
They programmed us to they didn't program us for a Jedi just sitting on the floor. They told us the Jedi would attack us. They lied.
Yeah.
Damn it.
It was also kind of funny, like, I just noticed in the series, like, the battle droids have more of a personality and more hijinks.
Yeah. I like that as well. I like that.
It was just kind of funny with this episode. It's probably one of the better ones, more or less, because of the fact that, like, we saw more development between the clones and a Jedi, so.
Yeah. Also, we got to see Yoda, so.
Yoda, yeah. And that's the first episode, so I mean, like, good way to start.
I mean, yeah, first episode is like, right, guys, what could we make an episode about? It's like Yoda, and then Dave's like, yes, there we go.
Yeah, because Yoda's cool.
Yoda is so cool.
And in general, like, they made him a lot more cool in this episode because of the fact of what they did with him.
Yeah, and like now, I believe episode 2 because, like, when I watched episode 2 for the first time, I was like. So you're telling me this old wizard who, like he got exiled to Dagobah for like how many years?
Mm-hmm.
He literally just sits on his ass all day doing nothing, just saying sentences backwards to Jedi and encouraging them.
Mm-hmm.
This dude comes out of nowhere with his walking stick. Bearing in mind he's carrying a walking stick, right? So he's acting like an old man out this. Starts flipping around over Count Dooku, and I'm just like, wait, what? And then the Clone Wars just, made it a lot more believable, I think.
It's kind of funny because, like, in the Dooku versus Yoda fight, it's like, you can imagine, just like the people are like, okay, what should we do for this scene, George? And then, like, George's like, how about we have Yoda come in, save Jedi, but he flips around like a badass. And then the other people are like, why would he be a badass for jumping around? It's like, don't question him. He's Lucas.
Lucas had so many yes men around him.
Exactly, but
yeah, it's like Lucas was like in the middle of that scene, and everyone was like, "So George, Anakin and Obi-Wan are on the floor. Dooku's about to kill them. Yoda walks in. What is Yoda gonna do? He's like literally an old man. He's carrying a walking stick. What happens here? He does flips. Okay.
Just wait, like if there was a first draft of this, like Yoda, like when Yoda's done, he's like, oh my back.
There's a first cut where Yoda dies. Count Dooku kills him.
He doesn't get killed by Dooku. He just gets killed by his back. It's like his bad back or something like that. He just does a flip, like it's like he flips and then Dooku just force pushes him. Just through the wall and then slam, crack.
Dead. Well, yeah. Epic episode. I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd probably say the same, 8 out of 10. Yeah.
So that was the 6 episodes that we'll be reviewing today.
Yeah.
What will be the next ones we are reviewing?
I'm really checking the list right now. I have not gotten that pulled up. God, why didn't I have this in my notes? I was literally just trying to find it.
I was gonna pull it up, but then I totally forgot. So I mean,
list. Where is it? Episode. Where is it? I have so many notes. Why? Huh?
Well,
It just totally ruined that moment.
I'm struggling. Chronological order. Okay, right, I've got it. Okay. Well. Okay, so next we will be next time on Clone Wars Review Sunday, we will be reviewing Episode 2 of Season 1, Rising Malevolence, Season 1, Episode 3, Shadow of Malevolence, Season 1, Episode 4, Destroy Malevolence, Season 1, Episode 5, Rockies, Season 1, Episode 6, Downfall of a Droid, and Season 1, Episode 7, Duel of the Droids. So basically we're just reviewing a load of Season 1 episodes next time.
Load of Malevolence.
The Malevolence episode.
Malevolence.
Malevolence. Yeah, there you go.
By the way, do you want me to keep that in when we're just kind of struggling, or do you want me to cut that out?
I'm definitely keeping that in. I'm having like some funny ass music in the background.
Just the Jeopardy music, dude. I'm struggling.
Oh, jeez. Well, yeah. Who's doing the outro?
Alright. So this has been the review. So check out LewisFilms on his channel. Link in the description. Maybe give him a subscribe. Give me a subscribe.
Same on my end. Go check him out in the description below. His link will be the top link. So you don't have to go through all that stuff I have in the description.
Yeah, there's nothing really much in the description. So. It'll literally be just your link. Not even like a channel name at the start. It's just your link.
A link. People at the start of the episode's like, what?
Yeah, just like, anyway. So before we end this, let's just talk about a little bit of your what you do, just to kind of give people what stuff you what ideas you do in terms of why to check your channel.
That's cool. Yeah. So on my channel, I do. First of all, I do reviews on different movies. I'll do reviews on any movies, so that's why it's called LewisFilms. I'll do reviews on any movies, mostly superhero movies, Star Wars movies. So Marvel, DC, Star Wars is the main theme. I'll do TV content as well. I review the shows Riverdale and The Flash. I also do Lego stop motions. I currently have a Spider-Man series going on right now, which is cool. Maybe some Star Wars ones in the future. And yeah, that's pretty much what I do. So, I mean, you can tell my viewers what you're about.
Well, I do. I used to do set reviews, but I kind of stopped that because I thought it was annoying. But mainly what I do now, it's they're kind of just a waste of time because all you're doing is showing off a set. Oh, here's a figure. Here's a set. This is how it's built. It has 500 pieces.
You have a good point.
But anyway, so I basically right now I do the reviews, but I also do stop motions. I have a long running series coming on. It's Clone Revolution, but I also am gonna have another series called The Threat.
Dumb hype.
If you guys want to know, Clone Revolution is about basically everything that happens to the surviving clones that took their chips out or whatever after Order 66 and followed along to a clone rebellion, along with some of the clones still turning to Order 66. But more will be said in the first episode that's going to happen. I don't know when that's going to be uploaded. It'll probably be uploaded in a few days. But basically, then there's also the Fets, which is basically a series on an alternate universe if Jango survived. I'm just going to say that right now. But besides that, I also just do who will win challenges where I post polls on my amino, the Rebels amino, and people vote, and then I just do animate what happens. So.
That is honestly, I couldn't think of anything better to click on right now. You should go into the description and click the link to his channel so you can subscribe.
Yeah. Get me up to 2K, guys.
A full 10 minutes of advertising. So good. Right, anyway.
It's funny because like you do a bunch of like just random talking episodes, talking about random topics, and you got like almost 3K, and I've done animations. I've got like 45 subscribers.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if you carry on with animations, they get you a long way. I'm just saying, a lot of people love animations. Like it's mad the amount of crazy fans you get for it. I'm just saying, like.
I already got I think 48 subscribers, so I'm climbing up.
Well, anyway, let's hope you get more. Go subscribe to his channel, link in the description. With that being said, I guess it's time to end off the episode here. Make sure to check out the next episode when it does come out, which if we're planning to do one of these every week, like every Sunday or something like that, aren't we?
Yeah, unless something comes up, but I don't think really anything would come up.
Yeah, I mean, we have like a full week to watch the episodes and then get our notes down, and it's a whole process. But anyway, yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you guys next one.